Welcome to this week's edition of the Airedale. I'm Chloe Lewis.
And I'm Shelby Bishop. On this week's show, we will be taking a close look at teen jobs, mental health, Peter and the Starcatcher, and much, much more coming up on
The Airedale.
Directly from the Alma High School News Studio, covering news and sports from where it matters. You're watching The Airedale.
After a long, thorough search, the moment has now come for the new Deputy Superintendent and the soon-to-be new Superintendent of the Alma School District has been chosen. Shelby Bishop spoke with Dr. Brian Duffy about his new endeavor.
As the new soon-to-be Superintendent of Alma School District, can you tell me a little bit about what your plans are as the new Superintendent?
Well, as far as initial plans, it is coming here on July 1 and working with Mr. Woolley for a full year on getting to know the district, getting to know the programs, what's offered here, getting to know all the staff, students, community members, and learn what things have been done, and there's a lot of things done well here, and then what things that staff or students or community want to see in the future and try to make plans accordingly. So right now there's no set plans to do a certain thing.
What are some of your goals moving forward?
Well, goals moving forward is still continuing the strong traditions here at Alma. A lot of good programs, good people in lots of positions that help our students, and learning what works well and continuing that for the future, while at the same time, what are good things we can bring to Alma that'll strengthen programs that are here.
Before you made the move to Alma, what was some of the careers you took part in?
Okay, started as a math teacher at North Little Rock High School. Also was student council sponsor and sponsored other clubs during that time. And then after that, went to the West Side School District in Jonesboro, Arkansas to be a middle school principal and also a high school principal. And during my tenure there, I was also superintendent of the school district in my last few years there at West Side. Then after West Side, went to the newly created Jacksonville North Pulaski School District, just right north of Little Rock. And the district was formed detached from another school district and started operation July 1 of 2016. And that's where I've been ever since, as assistant superintendent and then as superintendent.
What is something you would like the Alma School District to know moving forward in this new position?
I want everyone to know that I look forward to coming to Alma, meeting everybody, working with the staff, with the community, with the students on making this district the best school district it can be, and working with everyone to create that future that everybody wants.
It looks as if our new superintendent will bring a great outlook for the Alma School District.
I can't wait to see what he has in store.
Me too.
Global warming is an issue everyone should be concerned about. Yet, have you ever wondered if it can be reversed? Michael Farrell takes a look into geoengineering and how it could change our future for the better.
The concept of geoengineering is one that's been around for a long time. One of these concepts is for taking carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere and storing it elsewhere. This can have a positive effect on the Earth by reducing climate change and global warming.
Well, I think that it's actually really good and it helps the environment a lot, because being able to remove the carbon monoxide that pollutes our airs and also heats up the atmosphere is really good.
The path to a carbon neutral and even net negative carbon impact will take a lot of effort from bigger corporations that produce oil, natural gas, and coal.
I think they need to tone it down, because one thing is they just keep want more and more and more, but they're not looking at the bigger picture of what's happening outside of their little office. They need to at least tone it down some rather than just continuously making it more and more, because they're putting off more than the Earth can stop or handle.
With the $100 million prize that is given out by Elon Musk, there is a standard that has to be met. It has to reach 1 ton of carbon dioxide captured per day and has to be scalable to 1 billion tons per year.
It's good and all that people are actually going to help us try to stop global warming, because it's not good or anything, but I really think it's cool that Geotech's doing what they're doing to help stop the global warming, and they're putting all the effort in more than most people and most companies.
This is Michael Farrell with Airways Media, signing off.
That's incredible. The world could desperately use a technology of that magnitude.
I agree. Did you know that 56.2% of teens have jobs while attending high school? That number keeps increasing. Andrew Chronister took a closer look.
Your alarm rings and you get up to get ready for a long day at school. You sluggishly load all of your school materials into your backpack. You head to the bus stop and wait there thinking, do I have work tonight? A job is a difficult thing for teenagers to juggle, especially with other aspects of their life. There are some people that believe that having a job as a teenager in high school can provide you with real-world experience and help you gain time management skills.
I do agree. I think that having a job in high school is a great way to develop some of those soft skills that are going to be necessary in the workplace. Communication, dealing with other people, whether those are people that you work with or whether those are customers or people that you serve within that job. You learn how to balance your time. All of those things are important, but I think it also becomes challenging whenever you're not good at those time management skills, because it can become to the point where school becomes a second priority and graduation becomes less important than that job. And in the big picture, of course, graduation and a high school diploma is going to give you an edge up in that job in moving up or in getting other jobs that are going to pay better. So yes, good real world skills, good time management, but also very, very challenging to do, so you have to be careful.
The key is to get a healthy balance. I suggest you sit down and budget your time for what is necessary.
Maintaining a good work-life-school balance is, from the beginning, knowing that you're going to have to work depending upon the situation, depends upon how many hours you need to work, but not so many hours that you're overwhelmed, not so many hours that you're unable to do schoolwork, not so late that you're unable to sleep, and you want to still have time to spend with your friends and to do things that make you happy. So the key is to still be mentally and physically well, while also, making that spending money or helping pay bills or whatever you need to do. But coming up with a plan from the beginning to manage and balance all of those things so that you still have a well-balanced life is going to be important.
All right, great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I do believe that a job during high school gives you great opportunity to make it in the real world, and some advice that I would give to somebody that has a job in high school is that job will help you eventually, but don't let it stop you from doing what you should be doing in high school.
Needless to say, having a job as a teenager can be challenging, but it is definitely achievable. This is Andrew Chronister with Airwaves Media. Thank you for watching.
I've definitely had my fair share of working a job while attending school.
Me too. It's really helped me learn skills like teamwork and time management.
Teen mental health is an important topic that we all must be aware of. Damian Hallmark and Ethan Waits have more.
Students go through a lot of stressful situations with school and their home lives. Here is Miss Reese with more on this topic.
It's quite often that between the three counselors, one of us has somebody that we're talking to, either anxiety, stress, stuff going on at home, just any type of mental health stuff. Usually we've got someone in here all the time. Like I was saying, stress, anxiety, they're nervous about stuff at school, they're behind on a couple assignments and they don't like seeing the low grades, maybe stuff going on at home. I don't think that there's one in particular reason more than others. We've also got stuff going on, but I would say stress and anxiety would be the top two things that I talk to about the kids the most. I tell them all the time I don't have a magic wand. There's not a quick fix. There's no magic words to make things better, but we can work together to figure out something that will help them. We've got different strategies that we can try. And what works for me may not work for you, and it may not work for the next kid. So we just try different things. It may take a couple of different times, it may take a month, it may take all year, but we'll just continue to work together till the student feels better about what's going on.
Students sometimes don't know how to cope with bad things in their lives. If you are having suicidal thoughts and need somebody to talk to, call the 24/7 suicide hotline and talk to somebody.
Especially this year with the pandemic and all the things that go with it. I mean, there's not an aspect of life that hasn't been touched by the pandemic. So that's been a huge stress this year, from my kids who are involved in everything to kids who come for a couple of classes, nothing looks the same this year. So that's been a huge stress for this year in particular. I highly recommend that everybody learn how to practice deep breathing. It helps with stress, anger, anxiety, all those kinds of things. Something else they can do to help themselves is have somebody to talk to. If you don't have an adult in your house, find a teacher, an adult in your house that you don't feel comfortable talking to, then find a teacher that you feel comfortable talking to. Come talk to one of us. We are always here ready to help you. Just ask. Any adult in this building would be more than willing to, if they don't feel comfortable talking to them about it, they will get them to someone who does feel comfortable talking about what's going on. They can send an email. There's a spot on the website to report something anonymously. They can contact us on social media. They can come see us. They can have a friend give us a note. We've done that before as well. Just talk to somebody. Just let us know what's going on.
With Airwaves Media, I'm Ethan Waits.
Mental health is always a touchy subject. If you or anyone else you know is suffering from mental health issues, please call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline at 1-800-273-8255 or call the SAMHSA Treatment Referral Hotline at 1-877-726-4727.
Here at Alma High School, our juniors and seniors may be eligible to participate in our WOTC program. Stephen Miller has more.
For students that are looking for a higher level of learning experience, WOTC is a program in Alma High School that allows students to get college credits while still in high school. WOTC, or Western Arkansas Technical Center, is a program located at UAFS.
And what WOTC allows students to do is to get college credits as well as high school credits at the same time, and they're working towards certifications in various areas so that once they graduate from high school, they're qualified to go out and get a job in the area that they have finished their certification in. So they're welding and auto technology, they're computer programming, there's drones, there are some different health science areas. Students can get their LPN license, and all of this happens while they are junior and senior in high school, and then they don't have to pay for it. It's completely free. It's an agreement between WOTC and Alma High School and several other schools around. And so, again, students have the opportunity to get a certification and learn skills, have experiences that will allow them to get a job after they graduate. Some of them continue on to go to college and other training. Some of them go ahead and go into the workforce. But again, it's a great opportunity for students to learn a skill and get their feet wet in their career and technical education at no cost to them.
As you heard from Ms. Moore, taking this class would give you a head start on your career, and you can engage in anything as mechanics or technology. WOTC is overall a beneficial program for students that want a head start in their careers. I'm Stephen Miller for Airwaves Media, signing out.
If you are interested in attending WOTC, contact our UAFS at 479-788-7701.
Color guard is a big part of the ceremonial tradition. Jean Alexander gives an in-depth review of our color guard.
Stars and stripes are something that we as American citizens all recognize, and presenting the flag is a big thing in ROTC, or Reserve Officers Training Corps, especially here at Alma High School. Showing respect to both the flag and our nation is one thing that is taken very seriously here at Alma.
Color guard is basically to present the colors, like the colors of the military. So like there's always two flags, an organizational and the commander, which is the American flag, and two rifles to guard those flags.
The color guard is a small group of people consisting of up to 4 people who are arranged in a line from left to right, with 2 people in the center presenting the flags and 2 people on the outside guarding those flags. But there's more that goes into the color guard than just presenting and guarding the flag.
So since I am over all color guards, I would have to make sure I find a cadet who does know how to do a color guard, and we start training them when they first join, and they have something called a color guard PQS, and they have to go through every position until they get to commander. And if they know the position, then I put them in.
Well, the color guard for me, first off, it's a tradition that's gone on for hundreds of years, and it calls to mind the history of our country and just how our country was formed. But it also reminds me that looking at the colors of the flag and everyone marching out together in the color guard is that we as a society and as a country are together too, and it is kind of a symbol of that, and that's what the flag, kind of all that stands for. Well, the meaning of the color guard to me, I guess, is again, it means tradition, it means togetherness, it means it's a symbol of our country, watching the people carry the flag out there.
This is Gene Alexander with Airedale Media.
That's a great program. If you're interested in joining the Color Guard, take the opportunity to speak with Senior Chief Troy Pill or Commander Michael Raymer.
Aren't they the ones that are at all the basketball games? Mm-hmm. Seems pretty interesting. Up next, the medical industry has changed so much during COVID. Lincoln Medlock speaks to a local medical professional about what it's like working during these trying times.
Being in the medical industry is different than how it was 2 years ago.
It's very stressful. That's the first word that comes to my mind. It's very stressful, but at the same time, we feel like we bear a big responsibility in trying to make sure that we get people better and get rid of this pandemic, basically. But I would just say that everything is just really ramped up. Extra cleaning, extra precautions on every patient that we see. So it's very stressful for healthcare providers.
Even while there is a pandemic, the schedule for a hospital is the same.
In some cases they are, but not necessarily. Most healthcare is done on shift work. So there's always someone coming in on that next shift. But in the case of therapy in my department, sometimes we might have to stay a little longer if we don't finish with our patients, and then we still have to do our cleaning and disinfecting after that, because that happens no matter what. That's the first thing we do in the mornings when we get here, and it's the last thing we do before we leave. So occasionally it could be, but a lot of times, like if you're in nursing, there's a shift coming on after you, so maybe not extra hours for that.
There is an age group of people who are most affected by COVID-19. Here are some tips to keep them safe.
Get the vaccine when you can. Wear your mask and just try to stay away from everyone else. It's very hard, especially when you have older grandparents, parents, or whatever. But I really think that the vaccine is going to make a difference, and I do think that the masks help. I know there's a lot of controversy about that, but just limiting your exposure to others is really the best way to protect people.
This is Lincoln Medlock from Airwaves Media.
It has definitely been a difficult time for many working on the front lines during COVID. Hopefully this pandemic will be over sooner than later.
I hope so.
Me too.
On a lighter note, the Alma High School Theater Department is putting on a show called Peter and the Starcatcher. Evan Shibley got an inside look at this amazing play.
On March 11th through the 14th, Airedale Theater will be performing their rendition of Peter and the Starcatcher. If you like Peter Pan, then you will love this play. Peter and the Starcatcher takes place before the events of Peter Pan and shows how Peter gets to Neverland. Peter and the Starcatcher is full of a variety of wacky and zany characters, including a young, adventurous Starcatcher, two antagonists before we see them as the villains we know and love, and a cross-dressing nanny. Of that character.
I am playing Black Stash, Captain Hook. He's vile. He wants to be the best pirate in the world. I mean, just picture the most disgusting, awful, villainous pirate, and that's him.
Bumbrake is the sort of nanny to Molly, which is the lead character. Very responsible, kind of like you'd expect, like a rich nanny, kind of wash. Yeah, that's kind of her character.
One major part of a theater production is the set. Multiple months of planning and hard work are put into the set of a play. And the set of Peter and the Starcatcher is very special.
Everything is done with like a rope that is supposed to like signify like a wall or something like that. So there's just two people holding a rope, and you're supposed to know that that's a wall.
It's just amazing to me how people can like come together and make a set out of nothing. Literally just, take a couple pieces of wood and hammers, paint, and then boom, you've got a living like set. It's impressive to me.
You can catch Peter and the Starcatcher on March 11th through the 14th in the PAC, so make sure to go see it and experience the magic for yourself. This is Evan Shibley with Airwaves Media.
Also, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes is a great community where you get to meet and bond with other Christian athletes. Evan Sanderson and Joshua Ragley take an interesting look at this great organization.
FCA, which means Fellowship of Christian Athletes, is a wonderful organization to join. It gives you a chance to talk to other Christian athletes in a judge-free zone.
Well, I joined FCA when I was my freshman year. I got invited by a friend. A friend asked me to join it, and it just kind of grew from there. But started in freshman year, just a friend invite. What FCA all about really is just inspiring athletes that are already Christians and just keep them doing what God calls us to do. Or it's trying to get new people that are Christians and are athletes to just learn more about Christianity and what Jesus did, and just that kind of thing, and just help people learn more about Christ every week in all of our meetings.
The whole point of FCA is to see the world transformed by Jesus Christ through the influence of coaches and athletes. This helps to lead every coach and athlete into a growing relationship with Jesus Christ. The Fellowship of Christian Athletes is touching millions of lives, one heart at a time. Since 1954, FCA has been challenging coaches and athletes on a professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth level to use the powerful platform of sports to reach every coach and every athlete with transforming power of Jesus Christ.
Well, FCA, I mean, it's a great environment. It's a good group of guys and girls. There's a bunch of people in there, and I think it's just really good for Christians to be a part of. So we're just spiritually fed every week. And with Wilhite being one of our leaders, it's really awesome. She just creates a really good community, and I just love everybody there. And I think it's just good for new people that aren't Christians to learn more about God and Jesus and all that kind of thing, and for what He did for us on the cross. And I just think it's a really great group of people, and you'll learn something every week. So like you'll never go one week and not learn something new. You're going to find something to learn about every week.
FCA focuses on serving local communities around the globe by engaging, equipping, empowering coaches and athletes to unite, inspire, and change the world through the gospel. The founder of FCA is a man known as Don McClannon. From Airwaves Media, this is Joshua Wagley.
Winter, spring, summer, and fall. Justice Robertson and Xander Polito took to the halls of Alma High School to see what our fellow peers' favorite season is and why.
As the seasons are changing and everyone is enjoying life, we all know that everyone has a favorite season, so we asked two people what their favorite season and why. Here is Amber Strickland for her favorite season.
I like fall because it's my birthday season, and I like the changing of the leaves. I like the colors in fall. It's really pretty, and the weather's cooler. So it's just a really pretty time of year and nice time of year weather-wise. Yes, I like to hike, so I go hiking quite a bit during the fall, and I'm also a runner, so I'm always outside running. And then I like to decorate for fall, put out pumpkins and play with my kids in the leaves and that kind of thing.
People also call fall the spooky season due to Halloween. The leaves change and the weather gets colder. But we also asked Brian Curd what his favorite season was, and this is what his response is.
I like all of them. I guess probably summer though, because we're getting I'm a baseball guy and I got 3 boys that play baseball, and so we're just going practice games. I like the hot, so I'm going to go with summer.
We also asked Brian about his opinion about spring.
I guess from a biology perspective, since I do teach biology, I like, it just kind of represents new life, like things springing out from the ground. They've been dead in the winter, kind of, and then now they're coming back out. So,
fall was Amber Strickland's favorite season, and summer was Brian Curd's. A lot of people can agree with them, but also can disagree. This is Justice Robertson for Airwaves Media. Thank you.
The seasons are changing right now, and I can't wait for spring to get here. It's definitely my favorite.
I like fall. It's definitely my favorite season.
Most people who have watched TV has a favorite show. The students of Alma High School weighed in on their favorite streaming TV shows.
Netflix, YouTube, Hulu, and Disney Plus are just some of the free applications that you can get. Everyone has a favorite show, series, or video they just love to watch.
Well, I'm kind of a big nerd, so I've been into engineering lately.
Mostly this neat thing called die-cast racing, where you take Hot Wheels and race them professionally. So, stuff like that.
It's gotta be Hulu, because it has all my favorite TV shows, all my favorite movies. It's got everything, and it's pretty cheap.
This is Zach Millsap with Airwaves Media.
There are so many different incredible TV shows to choose from. It's definitely hard to pick one, but I think mine would definitely have to be Friends.
I think mine's Grey's Anatomy.
That's a good choice too.
All right, everyone. That's all for today's show. Thanks for watching this week's edition of the Airedale. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.
Follow all of our social medias at Airwaves Media. And as always, in the wise words of T-Mac, go Airedales.